Alright folks, the fun is over. The Assembly Shop event for the Lion is practically done. So let's cover all the news that happened yesterday but was overshadowed by the hype. So we'll take a look at the maps on the common test, as well as the Russian server changes, and some features they're incorporating into their version of the game, a few other pictures about different glitches and other stuff, and finally 2 new vehicles on the Supertest. So this video will be a hodgepodge of a bunch of random crap, and as always I'll put the timestamps into the video. You'll see it, but we already covered the vehicles hidden on the common test, the main battle tank B, the 𝗏𝗏 the down tier medium tank now, 𝗏𝑠𝑇62 version number 2, and the brand new titty. So this vehicle is purely new. There's no info on the Supertest originally, so it's always been like forum posts initially for these vehicles, but this is purely new, so kinda interesting. Go check out that video. Self-plug. But let's take a look at the maps for the common test. So Oyster Bay is originally reconned on the reconnaissance missions last summer or so, but it is practically Abbey map without the Abbey in the middle. You have an airfield, but this is where you go to die. I mean, it's open area covered by tank destroyers. No, you don't go here. You just die. But I do like more Pacific maps or beach maps, maybe deserts or winter maps. Those are good. We have way too many forest maps, but hey, you can never have enough maps. So that's always nice. It's an active volcano. Neat, I guess, but should be the Pacifics. And there's a bunch of Japanese zeros, Mitsubishi zeros on this map. There it is. So it is somewhere in the Pacific, but that's always nice. So lots of scenic pictures, but I think this map was okay. I had more fun with heavy tanks, obviously, and because of artillery. You have to go into the mountains. I mean, if you go to the beach, you get artillery and tank destroyers. It's a slog in the beachhead, but alright, fine. Lots of scenic pictures. Holy crap. Alright, fine. You don't put any tanks on here? I mean, okay. Alright. So I'll have the picture, but I'll draw it up for you. Ready and waiting. So basically, you start out here, right here, and right here. And this is a back color. So let's choose red for more distinguished. Heavy tanks usually go here, so we'll put heavy tanks. So H right here. And heavy tanks usually go here. They can choose to go to the beachhead, which is a little bit better than going to here. So this area of the valley gets artillery shelled. Artillery are usually right here and somewhere like right here. So they have perfect shot into this area and into this area, which is like Abbey, right? So you don't usually go here unless you have some cover or unless there's like only one artillery. If you go down here, there's a bunch of tank destroyers right here. So tank destroyers are usually camping right here, and they shoot into the beach right here. So unless you're playing a fast medium tank or light tank, you don't usually go here. Sometimes you have some luck with some fast medium tanks with turret armor, so that's where you go, but usually just go in the middle. So that's always nice. It looks like a vagina. Okay. Down here on the actual beachhead, you have tank destroyers right here, and tank destroyers camping right here. So they're usually camp about. It's very difficult to push this area unless you have some armor, but there's so many tank destroyers, and you got artillery shell too. So artillery shell goes all the way down here, and it's bad. Nobody usually goes down here unless you're some light tank. Light tanks usually like to camp right here or right here somewhere, but I mean, you're spotting for nobody unless you have some poor sap driving across the airfield. You can't really spot anybody from these bushes. So this is a good bush to spot from, but it's very dangerous. Same goes for here, but that's a map for you. It is like Abbey. Exactly like Abbey, except turn the other side. Practically, without the Abbey part. So, good map design, I guess. That was sarcasm. So let's take a look at the actual map rebalance on the common test for airfield. This is the southern spawn, and they changed the mountain location, increased the size of the mountains, so artillery shells have a difficult time from this position hitting all the way over here, and that's a plus. I mean, they changed the little nook on top of the mountain for both sides too. So this is, I mean, oppressive towards the middle of the map, but I mean, let's see how well that goes, I guess. But wasn't there a bunch of other maps that were being rebalanced on the Supertest, but never mentioned again? I have no idea. They changed the little hill right here, so you have an access point now from the center to this platform in the middle. So there's a little bit of hill right here now. I mean, it's good for light tanks, I guess, but you have less cover hiding from your enemies that's likely camping here or camping here. Also changed the little nook right here. Interesting. Yeah, they changed the nook dramatically over here. Oh god, thank god. The left flank gets a bunch of covers. This was open map. This was useless. It has an airstrip, which means it's open field. You get freaking tank destroyer across the map. So thank god there's so many more cover now. And you can actually support the heavy tanks in the middle. Oh, alright, steps. Everybody camps right here on the northern base. And ooh, increase the size of it. I mean, it's more balanced now compared to the southern base because you have the mountain ridge per se. So it's a little bit of a mountain ridge, a little bit more defensive, I guess. A little bit better of a hill. That's not that dramatic when you think about it. I mean, it's just a small pile of dirt. Okay, fine. Alright, mines. Okay, a little bit better cover while you're charging to the islands. Thank god. I mean, there's sometimes bum rushing all the way from here across the little side of the strip of land to the bottom of your base. So, yeah, a little bit more of a cover for you to take over this position. So that's nice. More defensive, boulder, protecting your flank from the northern base, bum rushing the left flank. That's nice. And there's one more building protecting the bottom flank. Alright, fine. I mean, it also covers up the top flank, but mostly it's from the base, and they shoot across the road. So it's not that big of a deal, but you can park a heavy tank right here and side scrape. Alright, fine. And you can no longer shoot at the heavy tanks from the top of the mines map. So it's practically a buff to the southern base or southern vehicle spawn. There's a house now. Yeah, it is a dramatic buff to the southern base. This is the northern base, and this is where the tank destroyers will shoot at the freaking tanks crossing this area of the map. That's a big ass buff. So there you go, folks. The 3 map changes, but wasn't there a bunch of more like Westfield and other stuff on the Supertest for last year? Scrapped? I have no idea. Alright, let's go over the pictures. I have a bunch of them. So experimental equipments. Oh, I forgot to talk about these. So this is the second iteration of the stats. This is the original iteration. They nerfed it, obviously. The mobility system is way too good. They nerfed it. Now they are ready for release, but after a nerf. So this is the improved version or nerf version, I guess. But original stats is the left one. The different stats or new stats are the second one or right one. And they nerfed the fire control system by 0.5% on level 3. They nerfed the level 2. So it's alright of an equipment, but mobility system is always a little bit more OP in my opinion. So they nerfed the horsepower per ton ratio of your vehicle. Engine power got reduced. Traverse got reduced. Hull traverse got reduced. Dispersion got reduced. Same top speed. So yeah, not as effective as original 9%. And it wasn't like 10% originally. It was 10% in the first iteration, basically overshadowing the actual turbocharger. Turbocharger doesn't do much, so yeah, it's way too good. They nerfed it. Just like last minute nerf, guys. Last minute nerf. Alright, finally for the super durability build, they nerfed the health of the vehicle by 2%. I mean, 2% is not that much, but still. Nerfed the repair speed, and that's practically it. So you have your giveaway back, you have your missions for components, 5 times maximum for 1500 total. Yep. Originally it was 200 times 7 for 7 days, so 1400. You get a little bit more out of it, but the same parameters of dealing damage. But further plans of adjusting the data and implementing it to events. Are we getting it for Battle Pass? Are we due for Battle Pass? Alright, fine. And the KV4 KTTS is not performing well, so it's being sold in the premium shop. I mean, I like it, but it's way too power crapped. It's not overpowered. It has been power crapped, but they did buff it, so small fun details. Alright, moving on. We have the new bounty hardening equipment, likely for Battle Pass. So this is the upgraded version of 3 million credits. Always didn't like the downside of putting so much money for just slight buff. I mean, it's crazy. 3 million. I mean, put it to 1 million. That would be a lot more fair, right? Oh, jeez. The 3 millions are so much. But only get like, not even 50% more. Just like 40% more. Ugh. So, bounty hardening. Giggity. Alright. Now, the Russian servers are testing a new feature that is automatically flipping upright your vehicle if you get stuck. So, kinda busted. I don't like this. The reason why is most of the time, yes, I would prefer your vehicle to be turned over if you get stuck. But that's when I'm playing a tank. This is actually a big ass buff to EBRs. Big buff to EBRs. And any buffs to the EBRs are not welcome in my books. I would rather sell my soul than buffing the EBRs. So I don't think it's actually that beneficial. I mean, it's good, but I would rather have tow cables to make it more, realistic per se. So giving each and every other tank a tow cable to pull your teammates, that would be so much better, right? Alright. And on the Russian server, they're having a different trade-in. Now, they already have the original trade-in, but with this version, it's actually better, quote unquote. So it is, for the first time, 1-to-1 exchange without additional payment or discount or downsides. So you're trading one vehicle for another vehicle. Now the downside to this is they only get you OP vehicles to trade in. They don't allow you to trade a garbage vehicle for an OP vehicle. So old equipment to new equipment, but you can only trade in actually decent vehicles. Like the BZ-176 or the Object 252U, the Boresk, the EBRs. These are all good. The Projecto 60, not the 65, the 46. These are all good premium tanks at tier 8. Samoa SM is more questionable. I mean, you're getting garbage like... I mean, Carnarvon Action X is not that bad. But old vehicles like T-54 prototypes or the 𝗏𝘓𝘓𝑃anzer, STA-2, these are all Sherman Revalorizé. These are all pretty questionable. Like the FE4202. These are all pretty low costing too. So you could get a 1-to-1 exchange, fine. But you cannot exchange garbage vehicles for OP vehicles. If this chart was turned 180 degrees, I think a lot of people would be super happy. Like they would trade a, I don't know, like a E75TS for a BZ-176. I don't think people will do it. Happily do it, right? But it's not that way. It's fixed. It's rigged. You can also have the standard exchange with the deficit or discount, but it's a deficit, so nothing to talk about there. But this is a new thing. I mean, would I rather trade the 𝗲𝘂𝘁 for something like a 𝗍𝘠𝘂𝘀? The cost effectiveness is actually not that bad, but 𝗍𝘠𝘂𝘀 is a very old premium tank, very old. So, yeah, debatable, questionable, I guess. Alright, moving on. If you're playing Steel Hunter, there's one part of the map on the winter map that when you spawn in, you get stuck. Alright. I mean, it's on the front side of the vehicle, so it's not exactly accounting for being stuck with the game mechanics. So you're not actually typically counted as being stuck without the auto flipping adjustments. So you're stuck like this for multiple spawns. So never choose the one next to the building into the peninsula shape area, the penile shape. Yeah, I'm a child. Area. But if you're being stuck on your sides, your vehicle will still flip over, but it's still kind of weird how you can spawn in and being flip over or onto your sides. Nice programming, guys. At best Q&A or quality assurance. Alright, we have two new vehicles on the Supertest. The 𝗍𝘬𝘀𝘀 number 3. This is the tier 10. It's the same as the Blitz practically, but has a little bit different of a stats. So AP shell for the standard and AP for gold. High pin, decent enough alpha. Reloads at 4 rounds per minute, so about 2,800 DPM or so. Accuracy is not half bad, but it's a large caliber gun. I think it's a 152 or so, but gun depression is alright. Turret angle or turret limitation is 10 degrees per side, which is alright. 40 rounds, lots of crew. 300 for the hull front, only 35 for the hull sides. I mean, it is flat for the superstructure, and that is a gold shell bait right here. I mean, you absorb a lot of gold shell right here, and you'll get pinned. It's flat, so it's also not that fast in terms of top speed, but revving up engine power is alright. 15.2 horsepower per ton ratio. We'll talk a lot more when the actual pictures come out, but we also have the 𝗥Pz 70K. This thing has the hydropneumatic suspension into sort of siege mode, like with the UDES 15 or 16s, but it's like the medium tanks practically. It has a sniper of a gun, 0.3 accuracy, takes a little bit longer to aim, and DPM is not that great. It is a light tank after all, but you get the 17 degrees of gun depression with the hydropneumatic suspension, which is nice. Only 30 rounds, so don't spam too much shots, but horsepower per ton ratio is not half bad, and top speed of 70. Armor is light tank armor. View range could be better, 390, that sucks, but it fires APCR shells as standard. It will be funny if this vehicle replaces the 𝗏𝘲𝘁𝑃anzerwagen. Now currently the 𝗏𝘲𝘁𝑃anzerwagen is on track, so you get a discount, but I don't think we'll see a repeat of the FV4202 being replaced by the Centurion Action X, or the Badger replacing the FE215B 183. So that happened a long ass time ago, but you kept the two vehicles. I don't think they're replacing the 𝗏𝘲𝘁𝘃anzerwagen with this. I mean, otherwise, it will be beneficial to have the 𝗏𝘲𝘁𝘃anzerwagen. Now, the downside to that is the 𝗏𝘲𝘁𝘃anzerwagen is not that good. Has been constantly nerfed since inception. Oh, oof. Alright, and finally, hopefully you got your lion, and you'll see likely something of this kind of result. A bunch of lions versus a bunch of lions. So everybody camps in the back and nobody pushes. And one guy playing the FE215B 183. hunting the lions, and you have a bunch of lions and you have a bunch of 1,850 damage. Exactly. So, I mean, when you're playing the lion, just camp in the back. You're a sniper. Play like a sniper, but... Oh, there you go, folks. A bunch of hodgepodge, that's a fun word, a random assortment of videos or video themes, I guess, but... and news, I guess. So, as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. And do make sure to enjoy your weekend. It's finally the weekend, but I'm still burnt out, so we'll see what happens. But no longer the free XP for the Simply shop, no longer the bonds or the actual gold. But oh well. As always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.